Know for Monday, May 12th, the 132nd day of 2025. There are 233 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station, 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com, via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Look back on Mother's Day weekend, that and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Bee. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
You have a good day yesterday?
I did.
Did you have some good lunch?
I did.
We had my sisters put together a taco bar.
They did.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
It came
good.
from Chipotle, and then they kind of threw in around it, and that was good. And then I don't know that we've ever sat around the dinner table that long, like you were a little bit late in arriving, but we were there for like hours and hours, and like 6 o'clock or something from lunchtime. So it was a good day getting caught. It was a nice warm day. It was beautiful outside. And did you get as tickled as I did of my mom telling stories about my papa singing songs to them when they would wake up, when he would try and wake them up?
Yes. Yes. Hilarious.
Just silly songs that my papa would make up. And I thought, that explains a whole lot about my silly songs and my mom's silly songs and all that. So anyway, it's good to look back on that and learn about things you might not have known about before. He is a 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the Sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing well. Did you all properly celebrate Adele yesterday?
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. We had a good lunch.
It was yesterday because you were busy on Saturday. So
yes.
You did have to.
Yes, I was.
Yesterday.
Yes.
You had a nice lunch?
Yes, it was nice.
That's good. I did see. Well, I don't guess I saw, but I saw video evidence that likely you were at Grayson County's prom on Saturday.
Yes, we were there. We were there on Saturday night.
My mother asked me about it yesterday, and I said, well, in my department, no news is good news, so I assume it all went off perfectly because I didn't hear otherwise.
Yeah, we had some minor technical difficulties. Took us a little bit of time to get some things figured out, but we did.
Yeah. Well, I don't guess the world knew that because it looked good on camera. I saw Mr. Decker interviewing some prom goers and went through. So anyway, it's I guess it seemed to be a popular broadcast, so I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's always fun to put on, and we had a good time.
I don't know if you all saw the headline over the weekend. You all see that Junior Alvarado got fined, Kentucky Derby winner who was aboard Sovereignty. He has been fined and suspended. He got fined $62,000 and suspended 2 days as a result of excessive crop use during the winning ride on Sovereignty. The HISA issued its ruling Friday after Alvarado met Thursday with stewards from Churchill Downs. It says, under HISA rules, jockeys may use their crops no more than 6 times. The penalty is 10% of the jockey's earnings from the race, which would be $31,000 from the Kentucky Derby, and a 1-day suspension. But HISA's ruling stated the fine and suspension was doubled because it was Alvarado's second violation within 180 days. And the suspension is to be served May 29th and 30th. So I didn't see it at the time, but I guess, if you go back and look at it, you can see where it was excessive. But that's a big fine, but only 10% of that shows you what he was taking away from the race. So it was a pretty good day for him as well, but now slightly a little less good because his wallet's a little lighter.
I think he's okay with that.
I think he's probably okay with that. It is a little bit concerning. I guess they probably all do that, and they're trying to get the most out of their horse, but twice in 180 days would indicate that he didn't learn his lesson the first time. So it's, obviously a concern. But that, I don't know if he'll be riding. I guess he won't be riding in the Preakness. I know Sovereignty is not, but that doesn't mean Junior Alvarado won't, and that's coming up this weekend. Rounds of showers and storms through midweek. Rounds of showers today and storms through midweek. We'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms through this evening. Additional rounds of showers and storms through Wednesday. We'll see scattered thunderstorms, 60% chance, a high of 77 for today. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms, an overnight low of 61, and scattered thunderstorms for your Tuesday with a high of 79. So we're kind of in that pattern. We're not as cool as maybe we were on Saturday or Friday, but it's a nice warm day yesterday. So we'll just have to enjoy the spring-like weather conditions. Speaking of weather and weather-related issues, the Kentucky congressional delegation has written President Trump a letter supporting a request for expanding the disaster declaration here in the Commonwealth. You know that we talked about only 13 counties got individual assistance designation from the president, which were all part of Governor Beshear's initial request. They were awaiting word from the White House on whether that the additional counties will be, and now Congress, at least our members of Congress, are asking the president to expand that more broadly. So you could, if you're not impacted by it now, you could be. Interesting. I saw a headline about an earthquake in Tennessee on Saturday morning, and then come to find out, that was felt as far away as Atlanta, as a 4.1, but I think a 2 something was felt in Jessamine County yesterday, a day after the earthquake down in the Tennessee area. So that I don't know anybody here that reported feeling it. I've not heard anything about it, but over in Jessamine County. Some international and national headlines that are worthy of at least just brushing across. We are hearing details today that there is a deal between the United States and China on relaxing some tariffs and coming to an economic agreement, or at least they're pausing those for a period of 60 days while they continue to talk it out. They had meetings in Geneva over the weekend, so there might be some good news in that department, at least a pause on the tariffs, so maybe commerce will continue in the interim. We're hearing that Hamas has agreed to release the last living U.S. hostage from Gaza, so that's good news. We're rolling on, closing in on 2 years, coming up in October. A FedEx board member, his last name is Steiner, David Steiner. He's a former CEO of the largest waste management company in the country. He's currently on the FedEx board. He is going to be the new postmaster of the United States Postal Service amid talk of privatization. And with someone new at the helm, they'll obviously bring new ideas and try and create new conversation. Well, I don't know if there'll be new ideas. I don't know that there are any new ones, but at least we'll have a different game plan and trying to figure out what to do to save the United States Postal Service, including taking it private. And it's nearly 250 years old. It's about as old as our country, and but it is not economically sound, and they got to figure it out as we're using it. I don't guess I want to say that we're using it less and less, but we're using it differently and differently than ever before. Fewer letters that they're carrying and many more heavy things, it seems. A warrant roundup on Saturday morning in Grayson County has resulted in 10 arrests. The roundup was conducted by the Sheriff's Office, the LPD, the Detention Center, the Ohio County Sheriff's Office, State Police, Fish and Wildlife. There were 110 warrants and criminal summons that were attempted to be served. They made 10 arrests. They served 11 criminal summons and were able to serve an EPO. Sheriff Chaffins added that it would have taken them months to do what they did, but with the assistance of the agencies, the roundup was completed in about 4 hours. So made a sweep of that on Saturday morning. ECTC, while beginning a new season of classes now, they're what they would call your summer break. They're having express enrollment this week, and that includes Litchfield. If you need help with the Litchfield campus, it's 259-1540. And I think there's a good chance we're going to visit with our friends from ECTC Litchfield on Thursday. So at least that I think is being worked out. Also got a special guest for tomorrow. And of course, Whitney will be here on Wednesday. And the Colonel will be here on Friday
boy.
because we will be talking art in the park.
Busy week.
It's going to be a busy week. Lots of activity. I have also efforted trying to get Representative Heverin on one day next week. You know, it's easier to catch her in between legislative sessions and catch up. She obviously was involved in the situation last week that so many local women and families were involved in. And she spoke out on that and the desire to create some legislation that maybe helps protect people in the future on those things. And so I think it will be good to get her perspective and her input and actually maybe what the plans might be legislatively in that regard. So anyway, we'll try to have a conversation with her coming up. Mammoth Cave could get more mammoth. There is a proposal and it involves, I think, some local elected leaders in Edmonson County. It has to do with Congressman Guthrie because it's in the 2nd Congressional District. But they are looking to grow Mammoth Cave by about 550 acres. So this is technically in Edmonson County, but basically if it were any closer to Barron County, it couldn't be in Edmonson County. If you think of the Mammoth Cave Parkway that comes down out of the park down to Park City, and you think of 31W, it sits in the L shape that is there. It's like the Bald Knob area, et cetera. If you're watching, you can see it on the screen. The dark area, let's start with the green area. The green area is the current parkway, is the current park, and that's the road. So that's the road that you drive down to get to the dollar store and the interstate and all that. So this would be immediately west of that, and they're looking to add that in. It's coming out of a nature conservancy, so they would not be taking private property, or at least where there are homes, et cetera. But they are trying to bring more acreage into the park, which then helps protect, and instead of it being the Nature Conservancy, it would be the National Park Service, et cetera. It'd be some federal dollars that would be involved in operating this part of the park. But Congressman Guthrie's office said that Mammoth Cave annually brings $90 million to the economy of that particular area. So
Wow.
over there, this is right on the border of Edmonson and Barron County. Now that a new Kentucky law has taken effect allowing 15-year-olds to earn their driver's permits, officials are hosting events across the state on Saturday, May 17, to help meet the increased interest from young Kentuckians wanting to apply for a permit. The state is offering more than 1,500 written permit test appointments at 20 testing locations across the state. The appointments will be released online Friday at noon Central Time. Noon Central Time. You might hear other outlets saying that it's at 1 o'clock, and it is 1 o'clock Eastern Time, but for you, it's noon. And the applicants can select the time and location that best meets their schedule when accessing the portal online. Applicants can take the test in any county offered that day. So the only bad news is when I told you that the appointments are coming out on Friday, it was 3 days ago Friday. So you need to rush and try and get one of those 1,500 appointments if you want, because the appointments are for this coming Saturday. So good luck. Hopefully they're not already gone. With no primary or general elections scheduled this year in the Commonwealth, Secretary of State Adams, and as his role as state's chief election officer, announced Friday that the April voter registration in the Commonwealth was virtually flat. Had an overall increase of only 599 voters across the state. There were 5,423 new registrations reported in April. 4,824 were removed, so they cleaned those up. So only a net of a few hundred. The Cougar tennis season, postseason, continues today down at Owensboro. They were in action on Saturday in the first rounds, and they will return and resume that today. Sam, did you have a chance to review any of the tennis action? I think the tennis teams had a good day.
Yeah, it's what it sounds like. When I got sent results, it was we were promming, so I didn't really get a chance to process.
The round 2 match results for the boys, Carter Bernard and Miles Mudd and versus Preston Blanton and Caleb Ewing, the duo from Hancock County. Cougars victorious 6-1, 6-0. Maddox Powell and Jordan Smith defeated Owensboro's Gaddis and McDaniel 6-2, 6-2. Today, Carter and Miles will take on a team from Breck County, And Maddox and Jordan will take on a team from Hancock County. That'll be this afternoon on the girls' side. Ava Walker advanced, I know, and she will play Mary Grace Edge from Owensboro Catholic today. I would imagine that's going to be a very competitive match. And the doubles quarterfinals, Emma Walker and Grace Franich will play a duo from Apollo. So I think that's the schedule today. Hopefully I didn't leave anyone out. But yeah, I heard at church yesterday they had a really good day on Saturday. We are closing in. Friday, we will be 52 weeks from, I don't know what we should call it, Pantgate. It will be the day that the 52-week anniversary of the day that Scotty Scheffler got arrested in Louisville at the PGA Championship, or at least outside Valhalla. Would that be true? All that was really damaged was an ego and a pair of pants. Is that right, Sam?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
But the PGA will be, is coming up this weekend. This coming weekend. So the questions have resurfaced asking him about the anniversary, etc. And he says it's the craziest day. He kind of outlined and relived his craziest day at the PGA Championship. He had handcuffs in the morning, goes and shoots, a 66 in the afternoon. And he did crash on Saturday finally. He came back down to earth. But he said that morning he had 2 eggs, and that's all that he ate all day. Went to jail, went to the course, completed the round, talked to the media, etc. He said that is an indication of how much adrenaline he was running on he was using as fuel throughout the day. So Xander Schauffele went on and won at Valhalla last year.
Didn't buy anything from the commissary?
Didn't buy anything. They offered him a sandwich, and he said, I wasn't going to touch that sandwich. And I don't know why. I don't know if they were laughing about it or whatever. Reds won big on Saturday, lost big yesterday.
Yeah. Yep. No, they scored a lot of runs on Saturday and didn't score anything yesterday. So that's just been the season it's been.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to spread them out. Sometimes the Yankees do that. They score. They scored 10 runs in the first inning on Saturday, didn't they?
Yes, they did, and scored 0 yesterday.
Should have just deferred some of those to yesterday as they were playing the Astros. We got to get to a break. We'll come back this week by the numbers. We'll talk about that. And a mom and son reached an important milestone together over the weekend. We'll talk about that and more coming up here on In the Know.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
The mobile unit from Intensive Health brings trusted, high-quality addiction treatment right to your community. Serving 5 counties, including Grayson, our innovative services offer telehealth treatment, mental health counseling, medical health assessments, primary care, and general medical services. We also offer hepatitis C and HIV screenings and treatment. No more long travels for essential care. We are discreet and accessible. Visit intensivehealth.com to find out more. A StepWorks recovery service.
Breakfast comes in all shapes and sizes. I like mine backed up, wrapped with love, and made to perfection. And no one does it better than McDonald's. With a 2 for $5 deal, I can grab 2 Mickey D's Classics. Whether it's the sausage McMuffin with egg, a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or the sausage gravy biscuit, there's a match just for me. And with most restaurants opening at 5 a.m. or earlier, bagging up your Mickey D's breakfast has never been better. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
If you're the average person, you only think about income taxes from January to April. But the choices you make 12 months a year have a big impact on your tax return preparation and even your refund. Making adjustments to your financial matters during tax filing season is like trying to lose weight during a routine doctor visit. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart work year-round to advise clients on important financial decisions so that during tax filing season, you're carrying a lot less stress and worry. Join the Peace of Mind team with Buckles, Travis & Hart. 270-259-5604. for or GraysonCPAs.com.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable.
ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start May 11th.
Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, College for the Real World.
Midway Pharmacy doesn't have the largest selection of perfume, and that's likely because they spend more time making sure you're healthy and less time making sure you smell pretty. At Midway Pharmacy, you're getting more than a pharmacy. You're getting a pharmacist who's committed to working with you on all things health-related. Experience what matters the most when you visit any county-wide location of Midway Pharmacy.
The number of Google searches made in Apple's Safari browser is down for the first time in more than 2 decades. An Apple senior vice president testified Wednesday in Google's antitrust trial that last month's decline is linked to the growth of AI searches. Google pays Apple $20 billion to make its search engine the default in Safari. The Trump administration is rescinding U.S. chip export restrictions known as the AI diffusion rule. It's a legislation that was proposed in the last days of the Biden administration. It organized countries into 3 different tiers, all of which have different restrictions on whether advanced AI chips can be shipped to that country without a license. The limits were set to take effect on May the 15th. The Trump administration's decision could have sweeping impacts on the global distribution of critical AI chips, as well as which companies profit from the new technology. And Samsung is holding a virtual event Monday to show off the Galaxy S25 Edge. The new device will be slimmer than the standard S25. The Unpacked event will be streamed live at 8 p.m. Eastern on the company's YouTube page. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
Today is International Nurses Day. We'd be in a world of hurt without nurses.
Amen.
Literally. We'd be in
Yeah.
a world of hurt. It's Limerick Day. It is Odometer Day, a reminder that odometers help us anticipate the lifespan of our cars. They remind us to schedule maintenance. We have maintenance minders now, too, that say, hey, go get your oil changed. And it's Nutty Fudge Day. Fudge is a confection made with ingredients like butter and sugar and corn and condensed milk. And I just thinking of that little girl that makes it. And I helped when she's making her, making her
I
thing.
just looked at you, corn.
Yeah, I had no idea what you were referring to there.
Yeah, it's just one of those. I was overcome. I think part of it was I learned over the weekend. I learned yesterday that Lulu Romans from Hee Haw fame, and she's famous otherwise. She passed over the weekend, or passed last week. I learned of that yesterday. So, this week's By the Numbers, a statistical look at who we are and the things we do. 30% of adults say they don't drink water after 3 p.m. 90.
I do that. No, I drink water.
Why?
You saying why people don't?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. 93% of us have never touched a vehicle charging station. I'm one of them.
I'm one.
I mean, that means only 7% of us have. I only drove an electric car a month ago for the first time. I mean, unless you count a golf cart. 10% of adults have a photo of themselves on their phone's lock screen.
No.
One in 10. I mean, I have a photo of you. You have a photo that includes yourself, but it's more of a family photo.
It's on my iPad.
Oh, on your iPad, but on your phone, it's just, what is that, Lotus? You changed it. It's a flower.
It is a flower. Yes, it's not a lotus. It's from vacation.
24% of people say they are awesome at small talk. 25% of people admit they are so impatient that they've read the last page of a book long before they should have.
Oh, dear.
That's terrible. That would be awful
No.
to do. Talk about spoiler.
Oh, I can't even. Who are you people?
I mean, the last page is the payoff for putting forth the effort on all the previous pages. 90% of jackpot lottery winners gain weight.
You think?
Yeah, because they're traveling and eating good and
I mean,
everything.
at that point, yeah. You're like,
Why wouldn't you?
13% of us would rather relieve themselves beside our car than go in a porta potty. It depends.
it really, well, yeah, it does depend.
Some of the porta potties are much more sketch than others.
Well, and it depends on the location. Like, is there anybody around? You know?
Yeah.
And then also, I mean, what are you? Is it
What
a
are
quick
you
one,
doing?
or you
Right.
you gonna be there a while? That might be.
I don't know though. So then you got to calculate, on the, in
mean,
the other
would
category, Sam, if you're going to be there a while, you got to calculate the hover factor.
Exactly.
What'd you eat last night? That's
Right.
maybe coming back
Then
through.
You also, is there a brace assistant on the hover factor?
Right.
Are you willing to touch anything inside the porta potty, like a
Because
handle?
You can hold on to your vehicle,
Yeah,
right?
it does
if you
have
need to.
at least
Like,
a
and
door
if you
handle.
have, if you have a 4-door vehicle, you've got 2 for hovering.
Sure. Brace yourself. This story was neat to see over the weekend. A lot of college graduations. We were in Bowling Green on Friday afternoon, and Western's graduation obviously was going on, and you probably know people who were there. But Brandy Fields and her son Kyle both graduated from Texas Christian University on Friday, mark a very special Mother's Day for her. Donning matching purple sneakers, one of the school's colors. They both received their graduate diplomas at TCU's first commencement ceremony solely for grad students. So they graduated, I guess, from grad school together
That's cool.
on Friday. So neat for them, and that's a photo that they'll cherish for a long time. Moms are revealing parenting advice that they'd give themselves if they could go back in time. A lady said, be brave, be patient, and the kids need a happy mom, not a perfect one.
Yeah.
Other helpful tips included a reminder that your baby loves you unconditionally and you are doing great and it is going to be okay and the lack of sleep will be worth it. Another shared, give yourself grace. Perfection isn't the goal. Ask for help, sleep when you can, and know this chaos is love in its purest form.
I think I'm going to add one.
All right, add one.
For new moms. So allow the pictures to be taken of yourself. I know you come home feeling plump and all those things, and that can, it can sometimes carry through for quite some time. But ask someone to take the photos. Be in the photos. You will regret being looking back and it's like, well, I'm not in any photos with this kid.
Yeah, I don't have pictures of myself. Yeah. It's selfies have helped in that regard
Yeah.
some, because I think a lot of moms end up taking selfies, and that's fine. But they're just not the same.
But
it's
you
still
know
not
that
the
I
same.
was really bad there for a while because I wasn't happy with myself, and so I would shy away from having my photo. And one day I decided, you know what, I'm gonna be sorry that I don't have these memories. So
Krispy Kreme is pausing their nationwide donut rollout with McDonald's due to a lack of demand. Krispy Kreme on Thursday said it is pausing a planned rollout of selling donuts at McDonald's locations nationwide. The chain said it's reassessing the deployment schedule together with McDonald's while it works to achieve a profitable business model for all parties. They did a soft rollout of this, maybe back last year, or it could have even been late in 2023. It is interesting to me that McDonald's, they keep trying things like this, and it doesn't ever seem that it pans out. So whether it's the Sam, is that a switcher problem or is it a her camera problem? Do you know?
I have no idea. There's
Okay,
no way for
all
me to know.
it's a me problem, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. McDonald's famously in the late 80s, and maybe again since, they attempted to do pizza. And this was more at a time when McDonald's wasn't a new company in the late 80s and 90s, but they had not hit their arc yet, right? They hadn't hit the peak of what they still are. I think there's McDonald's and then there's all others in that space. and people have strong feelings about them one way or another. You know, it's they either just absolutely love them. They're kind of ubiquitous in a way. But they've tried various things over the years involving either other types of products, et cetera. You know, the McRib is seasonal. It's not a menu staple. The filet of fish obviously is always, and that's something a departure from their hamburgers. But this kinship or this partnership with Krispy Kreme is odd to me because never once have I gone to McDonald's and said, wish they had a donut on their menu.
Well, I mean, for me, the best part about the Krispy Kreme is when they're fresh.
Right.
I mean, when the hot and ready light's on, that's the way to go.
You know, if you go to a regional, like a convenience store, you'll find they'll have the Krispy Kreme case in there. That's not appealing to me at all because I know those have been there for a while. Now, I don't know that I've ever, maybe once I've been in a Krispy Kreme with the hot and fresh light, like when you just go in there and they're warm. So that is not even something that really, really appeals to me.
Ooh. Yeah,
But from a psychological standpoint, though, like I know that if you want the best ones, you get them when they're hot, right after they've been made. So when I see something in a case that was delivered on a truck a day ago or early today, and it's late in the day, I'm be like, well, no, I wouldn't buy those. So my point is that I guess there are people, maybe especially DoorDashers or whatever, that you need some donuts and somebody wants an Egg McMuffin, et cetera, and you can get multiple ones like that. But I never really saw where this was going to be a viable project for Krispy Kreme to be available at McDonald's to begin with. I'm surprised it took them this long. Like they were on the eve of the national rollout, and they went, I don't know if we should do this or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like getting to your wedding ceremony and then deciding, do I want to get married? Like, weren't there signs before the day of the wedding where you thought, this might not be a good idea?
I mean, I've seen them there. I mean, obviously the local one would have it. I've never purchased them, but also I just want like one, and I don't think you could get just one.
Right, you got to buy a box
well,
or a dozen or I don't think they do singles.
That changes things.
Maybe a
for me,
half
'cause
dozen.
I was gonna say, well, what about the kid that is picky and just throw him a donut?
Yeah, I mean that can, but it seems. I guess McDonald's seems to have mastered the picky kid.
Yeah.
So I think in the breakfast
Yeah,
space, they've got a
what
picky
kid isn't going to
food.
eat a McNugget?
That's true. I mean,
Well,
ours prefers others. It's not that she won't, but that's not her favorite. It's my favorite.
She would rather come home.
That's true. She would. She'd rather have what's in the refrigerator. This is neat. There's so much news in the AI and technology space. It's hard to keep track of. You know, doctors often rely on a quick visual assessment. It's a so-called eyeball test to judge whether a patient looks older or younger than their age. Because all of our mileage may vary. You know, our life experience, our decisions that we make. You're either going to be, running ahead, spot on, or behind. You're aging. How are you aging? How are you holding up? But a new tool called Face Age could soon give the snap judgment a scientific boost. Face Age is an AI algorithm that analyzes a simple headshot to estimate a person's biological age, not their actual age. So just taking the way you look, and it's saying, well, that person should be this age. And that tool could help doctors decide how aggressively to treat patients by identifying those who might tolerate intensive care versus those who may need a gentler approach. They've done tests on like 6,000 people trying to estimate, and they show a strong link between higher biological age and poorer survival rates. So doctors going to be getting an AI assist in that category. You know how they weigh you in, they take your blood pressure. They weigh you in, they talk to you, say blah, 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 give you questions. Say, here, look into this lens like they do at the airport. Look into the camera. Do you consent to having your picture taken? Yes. Then they say, you look 87.
Whoa. Did you walk in here?
You're having a rough week. You look 87 years old. That's not what you want to hear at the doctor.
No.
You know, I came here like to kind of get well and get pumped up. I don't need you to, I'm going to need you to take 10 years off your age before you come back. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Today's Did You Know is coming up here on In the Know.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
My name is Kama McKinney, and I serve as the Executive Director of Chrysalis House. Far too many Kentuckians are struggling with addiction without knowing what resources are available to them. If you or a loved one are in need of a treatment center like Chrysalis House, you can call the KY Help call center at 833-8KY-HELP or visit findhelpnowky.org to find resources that are available near you. We are here, we care, and we want to help.
This is a message from Team Kentucky, sponsored by the Office of Drug Control Policy and aired by this station.
Buckle up, phone down. Buckle up, put your phone down, yeah, yeah. Buckle up, phone down. Buckle up, put your phone down, yeah, yeah. Buckle up, phone down. Buckle up, put your phone down, yeah, yeah. Buckle up, phone down. Buckle up, put your phone down. Ooh.
Be safe, Kentucky. Buckle up and put the phone down.
Paid with funds to the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
Smith Overhead Door isn't just about opening and closing. We're about safety, security, and style for your home or business. As a future designs company, we're lifting expectations across Grayson and surrounding counties with top brands like CHI and Chamberlain.
Hey there, I'm Kevin Brooks with Smith Overhead Door. Whether it's a sturdy LiftMeister for your garage or a sleek Clopay door for your shop, we install and service with a commitment to reliability. Smith Overhead Door, we're opening up possibilities.
Secure your entrance at sohd.info. Midway Pharmacy is your trusted local partner in health and wellness, offering free delivery so you never have to worry about picking up your medications. The friendly staff knows you by name and is always ready to assist you. Living and raising our families in the same community, they understand your needs. With a wide range of services and personalized care, Midway Pharmacy is here to make your life easier and healthier. Visit or call any countywide location today of Midway Pharmacy.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins.
Join the millions of people who are celebrating going hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on.
It's crazy how something as simple as a pair of shoes have made my life better.
After trying Skechers Slip-ins, I want all my shoes to have this technology.
See what everybody can't stop talking about. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, sohd.info.
Twin Lakes weather. Rounds of rain remain in the forecast on and off through the afternoon before we start to gradually dry out later on this evening. We'll see highs today in the 70s before we fall down into the 50s and low 60s tonight. Additional rounds of showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast for your Tuesday. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Aaron.
Did you know 30 of the first 31 popes were murdered?
Really?
30 of the first 31 popes of the Roman Catholic Church were murdered. I must say, they seem to have gotten that right since. Like they're doing much better, percentage-wise.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you
it's
have
bad.
to agree?
Yeah.
I
You know, like we had one pope shot, not an assassination, but we had a shooting in the 80s, as I recall. But otherwise, generally. The Swiss Guard finally got it together, is my point, and they're doing.
I'm looking here. The last pope to be killed in office was in 1303.
1303. So, for over 700 years, like they're doing well. My point is they got off to a rough start, but they settled in, and they've done all right since then, is my assessment. The weekend box office. Oh, it was funny to hear. I have to tell you, it is so weird. He can speak 5 languages, but Pope Leo, or Father Bob, as people call him, until then, that's what he was called, Father Bob. It's so weird to see the Pope, like wearing all the Pope stuff, and then speaking with a Midwest Chicago accent.
Yeah.
Because my entire life, whether he's Polish or, he's Latin or whoever, the Pope's always had some accent that you have to get through, and English is not his first language. So just to hear a guy, sitting around like he's on the south side of Chicago talking about, da Bears, is just weird. It's strange. And he has a sense of humor, which made me wonder, have all the other popes in my lifetime, have they also had a sense of humor? I just didn't get it because it was nuanced in another language.
Maybe.
Pope Francis apparently had a good sense of humor, but I just really couldn't understand his jokes because he didn't tell them in English. The weekend box office, new releases can't touch the Thunderbolts or Sinners. Thunderbolts at 1, Sinners at 2, Minecraft at 3, The Accountant 2 at 4, Clown in a Cornfield, which was new this week, raked in a whopping $3.7 million. What are they going to do with all that scratch that they took in this weekend? Kristen Bell apparently has children who have a similar sense of humor as to her. It is typically hereditary, or one influences the other. Her kids wrote her said, "Happy Father's Day, Mom," on her card yesterday. So they got, sarcasm as a sense of humor. Bill Belichick's girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, came in 3rd place at the Miss Maine USA pageant. She probably had to run after practice, had to do push-ups.
No, he wouldn't make her do that.
He wouldn't?
No, he's whipped.
All right. I do have to tell you, if you're high profile like that, and you've been at the center of media attention and the CBS interview and all that stuff, and then you come out and you pace 3rd, like 3rd best in Maine. I mean, it's a little bitty. Like 3rd best in Texas, like that's something. There's a lot of people. In The Voice, the Blake Shelton, Kelly Clarkson, and more are returning for the season 27 finale, which will be a week from tomorrow on NBC for those who are interested. What else to tell you about? The Weeknd is going to make his late show debut on his late night interview debut with Jimmy Fallon. He will be on Thursday. That's kind of odd. The Weeknd's never been on Fallon or the Jimmy Kimmel, etc. So he hasn't made it
I
yet.
think he has a movie coming out too.
Well, that would make sense on why. So he's being forced to do it by the.
I want to say he's like he's the executive producer and maybe the lead in it.
Interesting. And is he going to now go by? He said for a while he's finished with The Weeknd. Like he was going to start going by his real name, and I don't know what that is, but apparently there's some type of change that is going on. I was incorrect going into The Weeknd when I told you that the last weekend was the SNL season finale. It is not. The Walton Goggins episode was the penultimate episode of the season. Scarlett Johansson will be the host coming up on Saturday, and it is Colin Jost's wife is she makes cameo appearances on there quite often. Walton Goggins is pretty good. I felt like the cast sort of let him down. Now, if you saw the episode, Arcade Fire was the musical guest, and there's something wrong with their sound mix. I even had to go Google it because you couldn't hear the vocals on it. It was really strange and weird. And then there is a new, according to Billboard magazine, I think it's Billboard. This is a list of the best country songs of all time. And I know Sam is super intrigued to find out who will be number one. Number 10 from 1968 is Tammy Wynette's Stand By Your Man. That was one of the two country songs the Blues Brothers knew. And they would sing at Country Bob's Emporium. The other was the theme from Rawhide. Number 9 from 1990, Garth Brooks' Friends in Low Places.
Okay, I know that one.
I'm a little bit surprised that it's down at 9. Although when you see the rest that are above it, you'll kind of understand. Can the Circle Be Unbroken? The Carter Family from 1935 at number 8. It definitely has to be one of the most famous because it's still used.
I don't know that I know that one. I guess I'd recognize it probably.
You'll know it when you hear it. If you've ever been around the Grand Ole Opry, it's
I have not.
Hard to avoid. 1970, Loretta Lynn, Coal Miner's Daughter at number 7. Butcher Holler to you. 1949 at number 6, Hank Williams, I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. The longing sound of that, right? The you can just hear the lonesomeness coming out in his voice. It's very powerful. Johnny Cash, I Walk the Line at number 5. George Jones, He Stopped Loving Her Today in 1980. It's the number 4 country song of all time.
Okay.
It's good. I mean, lyrically, it's solid. It'd be hard to avoid. Number 3 from 1980. The chorus is what I love. Like a band of gypsies. By the way, the Nutty Professor agreed, Always on My Mind, one of the best songs of all time. I got a text from him Friday after the show, and he said Pet Shop Boys do a version of it, which I've heard. It's not too bad. So Willie's at number 3. So far, so good. Any in there that you would throw out yet?
Friends in Low Places.
Okay. Number 2.
Wow. Anti-Garth?
We don't like that song.
Not that one, yeah, for sure. Crazy.
1961. Patsy is number 1.
See, this
Are you
to
surprised
me,
it's not number 1?
is this even country?
Yeah,
Until
Patsy's country.
Until I hear number 1, I can't say. Oh no, I think they should be flipped for sure.
I'm a little surprised this is at number 1.
I like this, but I would, if they're going to be on the list, those should be flipped.
This is the most covered country song, they say. Like, there are more artists who have done this in many different genres.
I wish where's Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash?
I'm a little surprised. Well, you can only probably put one Johnny Cash in there, and so they...
Callin' Baton Rouge, right?
If you're going to put a Garth song in there, it's got to be that one.
It does,
But it makes sense. But Dolly's a number 1. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Point to Ponder, Pearl of Wisdom, and Chart Toppers ahead here on In the Know.
Just because you're madly in love with someone, that doesn't mean you should marry them. That statement may sound crazy, but it makes sense when you understand how infatuation dupes you into bad relationship choices. Just ask John and Maria. After years of marriage, they can only agree on this one sad fact. They had a great 9 months before they got married, but have had an awful 9 years ever since. They got married in what I call the love fog. That's that dreamy state most of us walk through in the beginning stages of a romantic relationship. That romantic high is very normal, but it only lasts a year to 18 months, just long enough to get married. Neurologists say that infatuation is a drug. Literally, it alters your brain chemistry. You magnify your mate's good qualities and minimize their flaws, or ignore them completely. Apparently, love is really blind. The net effect is that the person you love only exists in your imagination. You're so focused on being with the person, you don't ask if they're worth being with. It's okay to feel madly in love, but that's not enough to sustain your marriage. Infatuation won't carry your relationship through a cancer diagnosis or a family tragedy. Before you get married, let the love fog clear and build your relationship on values that last, like commitment and sacrificial love. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Midway Pharmacy might not have the best selection of fashion accessories, and that's because they're much more interested in your health and less interested in whether or not you're styling. At Midway Pharmacy, you're getting more than a pharmacy. You're getting a pharmacist who's committed to working with you on all things health-related. Rely upon the full team of pharmacists at Midway Pharmacy. Experience what matters the most when you visit any county-wide location of Midway Pharmacy.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
Why? Why do we ignore the things that give us pause, that seem out of place, that don't feel right? The answer to why defines who we are. So if you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my friends.
For my community.
For my family.
For each other. Because all of this matters. We all have something worth protecting. So why do you see safe? Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. You may recall we famously talk about the year that Alea was Queen Elsa for Halloween. She didn't take her gown. She didn't take her Queen Elsa gown off, I think, until she was forced to put on clothes to go to Thanksgiving dinner.
I mean, hey.
Okay, I may be exaggerating a little bit, but she wore it for a long time. So I started pondering today, and I was going to send her a text to ask her, but I thought I would ponder it with you all first.
Okay.
Do you think that Misty has taken her robe and her doctoral hood like off since Thursday or whenever that was? You think she's just like, think she wore it to church yesterday? I would.
Yeah, I would. I think, yeah, maybe.
I mean, maybe for Mother's Day lunch.
Listen, I would parade around in front of all those sisters.
The way it looked like, you know how in Trumpets Herald, you know, like in the when the king, like the and the king, like the royalty comes in. That's probably what should have happened.
Did she wear her rollerblades or roller skates to when she went across the stage?
We could have really.
She was seated.
There's a lot to do with that and her.
I guess probably the yellow.
Dazzle something. We could. I mean, there's a lot to work with there.
Could have been interesting. On TV tonight. Well, it's Monday night, so The Voice is on. America's Most Wanted is on Fox. The NHL playoffs, you got Washington at Carolina and Vegas at Edmonton, and the NBA playoffs continue. Boston at New York, Minnesota at Golden Gate. Today's highlight in history. This date in 2008, a devastating 7.9 magnitude earthquake in China's Sichuan province left more than 87,000 people dead or missing. Birthdays today, Steve Winwood is 77, Bruce Boxleitner is 75, Billy Squire is 75, Kix Brooks is 70, Ving Rhames is 66, Emilio Estevez is 63, Tony Hawk is 57, Kim Fields, Tootie from Facts of Life, is 56, and Rami Malek is 44 today. Gone but not forgotten, Florence Nightingale in 1820, Katharine Hepburn in 1907, Yogi Berra in 1925, Burt Bacharach in 1928, Tom Snyder in 1936, and George Carlin in 1937.
So does that mean you have to say the 7 dirty words right now? In honor? Do you got the dump button ready?
You could knock yourself out if you want to. Let's just turn your mic off and do it so I don't have to put forth any extra effort. 1958. Elvis is number one. He's getting ready to cuss. Here it comes. Here he's getting ready to cuss. By heck. He said, by heck. Oh, Lordy. Let's go to 1967. Arthur Conley doing the Mel Bradley shout-outs. He does shout out to James Brown now. Shout out to Lou Rawls, yeah. He did all this name dropping so people would listen to his song. All right, we can't hang around for all the name dropping. If you want to see a good video with good choreography, look this up. It's the Silvers with Boogie Fever. Between the outfits and the choreography is solid work.
Oh, check that out.
Yeah, doing the sideways moves. This is number one in 76. This was on the Midnight Special, 1976. That's the version we're looking at if you want to see. You might know this song. Breakfast Club to you. Number one in 85. Simple Minds. Don't you forget about me. Turkey pot pie.
And that's about where I am finished with this song. I like the beginning. The rest of it, I'm like, yeah.
It's kind of like an eerie kind of sign to it. This song was always odd to me. Enigma, Return to Innocence, number one in 1994.
See where it would be odd to you. Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
It is a lot going on, Sam. Yeah.
I don't know what to make of that.
It came at a time that a different, yeah.
Sure, I was a dad, you know. Like,
it came at a different time. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so fair or foul? Are we allowed? Is R. Kelly off? Is R. Kelly out of bounds now?
Not on this one.
Okay, so here's what's interesting though, because if someone said foul, you're not allowed to play R. Kelly. I was going for the barbershop version from Jimmy Fallon, which I know you hate to hear.
Mm-hmm.
But did you know they've scrubbed it?
Really?
The Tonight Show, they've taken that off their channel. Now, they've left a bunch of others up, like Justin Timberlake and others they've done, but they took the R. Kelly down,
Listen,
which is a surprise to me.
That song is, I'm sorry, it's kind of good.
There's some red flags in the R. Kelly.
Oh, yeah. 2012. I missed this song, too, but I heard this a couple of years ago, and I was like...
Did you really miss it?
The chorus. I did. I like this song. I don't know why.
I'll be honest, I don't know why either.
And you go.
I don't know. There's something about Rascal Flatts that get more of a pass in ways.
The only Rascal Flatts song that is worth it is their cover of "Life Is a Highway" from Cars.
Okay,
but that's a nostalgia factor for me.
It is. But you like Tom Cochrane, right? Life Is a Highway.
The original? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay.
But I mean,
he says that's the only one that's acceptable.
Oh, okay.
That's the only Rascal Flatts song that I'll go, okay, I can listen to this.
I can't believe you all are just talking through this Dua Lipa song. Look at you all going.
That's because you're the Dua Lipa one.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I like Dua Lipa, but...
All right.
Yeah.
There are your chart toppers for today. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, the more difficult the victory, the greater the happiness in winning. The more difficult the victory, the greater the happiness in winning. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG, Litchfield.